You're now listening to So You Were Saying
with Dora and Lex.
Tune in every Friday for the latest episode. And we're back.
We're live.
Yay!
How y'all doing? Welcome back, part 2.
Welcome back, part 2. Oh my God, can you believe we're even doing this?
Of course, the moment that we start recording, my nose is like...
She got the sniffles.
I got the sniffles.
Yo. So let me tell you, first of all, if you guys listened to that last episode, then that was the Welcome Back original when we were trying to come back.
We just missed a complete intro.
Oh, did we? Oh, right.
Hey, y'all. It's Dora.
What? Clearly, we don't know what we're doing anymore.
What's your name? Say your name.
What was that? And your girl Lex. Yeah, that's my part. I forgot.
And this is the ladies of So You Were Saying.
Clearly, we don't know what we're saying.
Welcome back. Part 2.
Oh my God, it's been way too long.
A year later.
A year. It's been almost a year since we recorded the first Welcome Back episode, but it's definitely been more than a year now since we've released an actual episode on full-fledged, right? As of today. Obviously, you guys are hearing this later, so we technically posted the other audio already, but y'all, it has been a minute. I can't believe this. I'm so excited. Hopefully we can actually stay on.
No, just joking.
Yes.
I'm excited.
I mean, or maybe not you, but I am. Speak for yourself.
No. Well, that was aggressive. I'm excited in the sense like this is my favorite type of content.
Yes.
Like I'm going to be completely 100% honest. I despise IG Lives. I do not like IG Lives. I don't like being live in person for anything.
If y'all could see the way she just like her body language when she did that just now. The visuals.
I got the spirit in
We
me.
have to figure out how to record visuals. I know we've been saying that for a while, but we still haven't. Yes.
No, but okay, listen, hear me out here.
Okay.
Because this is what I think creates the difference. Like watching, right? Like listening to our full-fledged content, I realize that the reason why this content is so great is because they can only hear us and they cannot see us. I am very
It's because she likes to be in her own element, y'all.
Yes.
And she doesn't like people to see her.
No.
She's such a freaking introvert.
Yes.
That's really what it boils down to.
So I don't like if we're going to do visuals, it has to be in like an inconspicuous way. Like, so basically you have to like set up cameras like hidden. Don't tell me where they're at. Don't tell me that the room is bugged. And then just be like, girl, we just gonna record. Just make sure I look, halfway decent.
Oh my God.
And then just boom. Then you're gonna get like full-fledged Dora. Because I really feel like
she doesn't like being on camera.
Yeah, like the camera aspect. I'm like, oh, they're looking at me. And the thing is, it's so weird because especially when you're like on IG Live, like you can tell like these people are looking at you because obviously in the comments and like you see the amount, but you can't see them, bro. That hurts me. What? It's like, what are you doing? like what you doing? And I'm sure like many times that I'm like listening to people's lives, I'm not even watching them. I just have them like seated somewhere.
Yeah, right.
And just,
like the audio
listening.
playing. Yeah.
Right. And it's mostly just audio that you're going off of. But no, in my crazy brain, I'm like, they see me, but I don't see them.
They're staring. They can see every flaw. Oh my God.
It's like, and it's not even about the flaws. It's just, I can't see you.
Like it's not like a FaceTime where we're looking at each other. It's just you're
like
looking at me and I'm the main, I'm the center of what's happening.
Right.
And I can't see you in return. I mean, I get it. I get it.
Okay.
I get it, but I don't know. I'm so used to.
You just like it.
It's not that I like it. I guess I'm just used to it.
You like it.
No, I'm just so used to. I've been doing social media for how long now?
But that's what I'm saying. You like it.
It's not that I like it. It's just that I'm used to it. Like at one point in my life, you would not have caught me on a live. Like not even a little bit. Not even a little bit.
Like, but realistically, I mean, if you think about it, it's been more than a year of So You Were Saying. And prior to that, it's been 2 different journeys, like weight loss journeys. I should be used to it by now, but I'm not.
But you were never comfortable with it. It was more so you putting yourself out there with your fitness journeys to hold yourself accountable, which was always uncomfortable for you, which is why, you know, we always had to go through like, yes, Dora, this is fine, post it. It looks good. Right. And then the podcast is more so just to put ourselves out there for more engagement purposes and kind of giving them a face of who we are. But realistically, you've never liked doing this.
Yeah, I don't like. No, okay. Let's clarify. I love podcasting. The vocal.
No, I'm talking about visual of it.
No.
Like
yeah, but I just want to clarify because that's like
they're gonna be like, why is she doing this then?
Podcasting. She's being held against her will, and it's like coercion here. Yeah, no, relax.
I'm forcing her to do it, y'all.
Relax. It's not that. It's really not that.
It's the visual. I get it. I mean, not everyone likes to be in front of a camera, which is fine. But the topics and conversations and the way that we flow when we're recording in this type of element, I think is much better for our listeners because they get the authentic, you know, uncut versions of us.
And not only that, but they also, because again, we wanted this to be conversations between 2 best friends. And this is like, when we get into like our conversations, this is kind of how it flows.
True. We're not on, you know, screen having conversations about our life.
Well, sometimes the FaceTime if needed. But even in
FaceTime.
even
in FaceTimes, yeah.
We don't stay like...
Sis, how many times have you looked at the ceiling and vice versa? Or I'm staring at, I don't know, the wall while you're like cleaning or something.
This is very true. But I still move you to each room. That
right, yeah. Like you're like, hold on. Unless she's in her headphones and she got to go to the laundry. Then she's like, y'all, I'm going to the y'all. You see how I'm talking to y'all? Then she's like, Lex, I'll be right back. I got to go to the laundry. That's the only time she doesn't move me because she ain't got no service in the laundry room.
Exactly. I was like, I'm going to lose you. And also I need my hands.
But like there are many times where like we FaceTime and we're not really looking at each other.
This is true.
So,
okay.
I get it. Anyways, I digress.
We're doing a welcome back part 2 because we want to fill in a little bit of a gap because just a little bit. So just for context, that original welcome back episode was recorded August of 2022.
Today is what is today's date?
June 17th,
2023.
The shame.
So ashamed.
Lord help us, baby Jesus. We are different people. We are not the same.
Not even from that last episode.
No. But great episode. We could not trash that episode because we listened to it and we were like, hot diggity damn.
Too good not to share.
Yes.
Honestly, when we sat here listening to it, we just finished it like 10 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago. And I'm like, oh my God, we were cracking up. So hopefully you guys got a good laugh from that. And I guess it was funnier to us because it's our life, right? It was the first time that we actually sat and listened to the episode. We didn't even know we recorded it. We had already originally planned on doing a welcome back episode. And then when she opened her laptop, she was like, oh, we did one. We're like, what? We listen and it's like, oh my God, this is too good not to share. So let's just do a welcome back part 2 to kind of fill in from August to June.
Right.
Kind of thing.
Whew. August to June. Where did we... So, I mean, you guys have heard of me getting out of surgery, almost dying, the new relationship. And then I feel like this just got real dark. Lord, I like my tone just like, oh God. Like this just hit reality. Because it just, I don't know. I'm only going to speak for myself. But I really feel like from August to June, I've had the happiest moments of my life be combined with the most chaotic uncertainty. I guess not really drama induced, but I created my own drama in my head, unmotivated season of depression ever. Yeah. Something like that. It's a mix of a lot of things that I am still not 100% can't pinpoint what triggered it, but it was, if I can put it in this perspective, it was a prayer to, again, believe what you want to believe, the universe, God, whatever. But the way that I expressed it is, God, why are you answering my prayers while also confusing the ish out of me with everything else that you're throwing into the plate? How could I be so happy and so confused at the same time? Lord, send a sign. And I mean a clear one because
clearly your signs aren't clear. Thanks, God.
Because clearly it's either you or me. And I don't have a great track record. You know more than I do. Please help. And that's where my
that is
August
hilarious
to June or July.
Oh yeah. We're not
July.
too far. Yeah, we're not that far away.
Oh no, we're in June. I'm sorry.
I was say what we
Yeah.
just said.
I'm
It's
sorry.
June. What day is it? 17th.
June 17th.
Tomorrow's Father's Day, you guys.
Yes. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day to all the, great dads out there of the world.
Mhm.
Y'all are appreciated. Yeah, no, I feel like between August and now, I have definitely I've definitely hit very high points of clarity and then very low points in the midst of the confusion that's going on in life.
Mhm.
And it's so funny because I was talking to my supervisor the other day and I was just like, in life, we have moments where we just drop the ball on certain things because we cannot, unfortunately, put everything at the forefront, right? And like really have full balance. I feel like doesn't matter how balanced you feel like you are, there are going to be certain things in your life that just don't make sense.
Right.
And that you can't put as much effort into at the time. So you're not succeeding, in those areas of your life. But then the areas that you are, and I don't know if that makes any sense, but like your life is constantly changing, right? So as you're rotating through your life, your priorities rotate. Not saying that anything is less than the other, but the effort that you put into things has to fluctuate
Right.
in order for your life to have any sort of balance. And I feel like that's what's been happening for my life over the course of the past couple months, or almost a year, is I've realized that I can't put everything at the forefront. And I have to put me in the forefront of whatever else is happening. And so in doing that, I have definitely dropped the ball on many other things, but I've become okay with that. Whereas before it would have bothered me.
Right.
Like that's what I've learned mostly over the past couple months is just it is okay to drop the ball and be okay with dropping the ball and be like, all right, here, that's for whatever or whoever is gonna take that over for right now, but it's not my responsibility right now. Like everything else on this side is, and then I'll get back to that once I fix this. Does that
Right.
make sense?
No, it makes a lot of sense. You have to decide what is on your totem pole and what you can give precedence at that point in time to be able to be successful, because there's certain things, and especially as being adults, we balance so many plates.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, you cannot possibly give everything. Like everything can't be number one. Everybody
Exactly.
isn't number
Yeah.
one. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just like ridiculous. You have to just set up your top 10 and set them up accordingly.
Top 3, sis. Let's take it down a notch because honestly, top 10 it's not even a top 10 no more.
Well,
It's
no,
like
no,
a top
I'm-
3.
what I'm saying is it's still a top 10 in the sense of there's 10 things that I just know that I always have to keep in line somewhat because like, for example, like there's things just as an adult, like I have to pay rent. I have to pay my bills. You know what I mean? So that's
Right.
still a responsibility. It's like as much as I would love to just be like, I'm not going to think about that.
I can't even lie. I've recently dropped the ball on that. Like I got a hit recently because it was like, oh, you forgot to pay this, and I was like, I forgot to pay what?
Right.
And it took a huge hit, and not even on my end, but on someone else's end that I was responsible for. And I was like, oh, my bad. Like that just hasn't been on my list of priorities because I thought it was already being handled.
But the funny
So,
thing is I
yeah.
actually spoke to somebody recently about that as well.
About what?
That like sometimes I don't know if it's like necessary, like when certain individuals get overloaded, right? They will have a willful ignorance towards certain things and purposely kind of sabotage and set themselves up for failure without even like it's not that they don't realize it. It's just that it's easier to put baby in the corner than to
Right.
have to deal with baby at that point
Nobody
in time.
puts baby in the corner.
Yes.
And if you don't know that reference, we can't be friends.
We don't know who you are. And we don't want to be with you. Okay, I don't know where I was going with that. Leave it alone. I don't know. Just leave it. It didn't happen. This is definitely staying in.
No, but seriously, I feel like at one stage of my life, I used to feel really bad that I couldn't prioritize everything and everyone and, still manage myself and my own emotions and things of that nature. And the growth that I've experienced with learning to let go has really allowed me to flourish mentally and emotionally. And it's not to say that, oh, I'm all better, right? Because I'm definitely not. Um, but I will say that putting myself in the forefront at this stage of my life has allowed me to realize that there are many things and many people that shouldn't have been getting my energy in the first place. And that was a hard pill to swallow for me. Mostly emotionally, more than anything. I was prioritizing everyone else, considering everyone else's feelings and how what I would do would affect them versus how it would benefit or affect me. And that I feel like has definitely shifted over the course of the past, I want to say maybe like 4 months.
Right.
Tremendously. To the point where I have not, I've detached. And that's not a bad thing. Like, I've detached for good reason and in a way that is, it's not unhealthy. Like, I feel like it was a very healthy, much needed attachment. Because attachment in any way, shape, or form, I don't feel like is ever truly beneficial to a person. But when you grow up a certain way and you lack certain things, certain levels of love and affection and care and things of that nature, you unintentionally attach yourselves not just to people, but to things that bring you the thing that you thought you needed.
Right. Because you're basically trying to replace what you didn't have.
Exactly.
So the funny thing is, I feel like we took similar journeys in that, but in like a different slight. I think we've had different reactions to it. Because, for example, like prior to April of last year, I had my grandfather with us, and that during that siege, and I want to say like ever since, I don't know, like 6, 7, 8, 10 years back, because prior to my grandfather being sick, it was my grandmother being sick and her dementia and her Alzheimer's and that whole journey from Alzheimer's into dementia, and then just her being immobile. So it's been many years of in my household having that energy of your time does not belong to you. Your time belongs to what does the order of operations need to be so that these two individuals that need our assistance can function.
Right.
And that trickles into everything, because through that, you also want to be, I guess, aware that people still need their alone time. So, my mother still needed to do outings with her husband, my father, my cousin still has her own family and she has to do things with her kids. And I had to fill in and, try to be a, I guess, young 20-something in between all of that, trying to figuring out the dating world and all of that. And as much as I reflect, like if you would have asked me there at that point in time, I would have told you that, oh my goodness, I was doing amazing and like just balancing and everything was getting done, which it was. And honestly, like I look back to it now and I'm like amazed at the woman that I was throughout that entire journey. But I also recognize how flawed she was for that entire journey.
Ooh.
Because it's just like, girl, how, like, it's funny because she's flawed in the sense of it's not okay to ever be this unattached from yourself to be able to attach or not attach yourself, but prioritize everybody else. But now I catch myself not being able to prioritize anything but myself, but in a very like shell way. So I feel like I went from one extreme to another because now it's more of like my time was so much everybody else's time and what was convenient for them
Mm-hmm.
that now it's just, I don't want time with anybody. I want time with myself. But that's because I've been owed these time. Like, I'm talking about 10 years
Yeah.
of like what I
Like,
was owed.
you've earned the right to be selfish.
Yeah, but it's just like, even reflecting now, like sometimes I feel like with anything in this world, right? There's always an extreme overcorrection.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I'm trying to maneuver through that extreme overcorrection because naturally, like where I want to be right now is leave me in my box. If I don't call you into my box, please do not come visit the box.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I know that you see it. No, it does not see you. Leave it alone. Okay? Like, mind your business. It may shift. It may change colors. It may be a little, different or disorganized on certain days.
Right.
But just leave the box alone. It did not do anything to you. It's not moving towards you. Even if it seems like it may be moving towards you,
Right.
it's just like it's not. Because I find, and the reason why I say that about like moving towards you, it's just there's times that I come out of my bubble and I'm like, oh, I want to see how so and so is doing.
Right.
But then that like will ignite like, oh my God, you're back. No, I'm just joking. I was just literally checking.
I was just checking in to make sure all is well on your side.
Exactly.
That does not mean that I want you really on my side.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like difficult to explain that to individuals
Mm-hmm.
because they take it, and the way that I've seen it is like people taking it in a bad sense of like, oh, you just don't care. No, I care for everybody equally. Like, my heart still belongs to the people that I belong to.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I don't have it in me to, like, I'm working through that overcorrection, y'all. Like, it's not, I can't, like, and it's so weird because I would love to say that I am so much more emotionally connected now to everything, to the point where it's like almost hyper emotional connection. Because before, I was emotional when things got like very, very difficult.
Right.
Right. But it was only necessary and only to like do that quick release, like quick cry, wipe your tears and keep it pushing because there's things that we have to do.
Mm.
Right. But it wasn't an actual, like, there was
Ooh,
very
you're about
much
to touch on a different point right now.
But that's what I'm saying. It was a very much disconnect to the actual emotional of like everything
happening.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. When you think about how much it takes out of you to push through everything going on,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean like everything, because I can think back to 2014, 2015, where we first met, and I was on go mode. Like, getting everything done. It was like, do. But I did not take a minute to, like, sit in the pity of it all. Or not the pity, but just, like, to sit in the emotions of it all in general, of what was really happening. I would have my 2 minutes, and it was like, all right, we got stuff to do. Let's keep going. And then you completed your task, and by the time you realized what had happened, you were already on to the next project. And that project didn't matter anymore.
Right. So for me, I really feel, and again, I'm self-diagnosed for everything, right? I have been to therapy. I'm not currently with a therapist. This is not something, sometimes I will reference things that my previous therapist has said to me, but mostly I am self-diagnosed and self-recovering.
Okay.
With that being said, I'm just going to preface because, I don't want the therapist, like if a therapist ever listens, that is not how that works. That is not like the clinical terminology for girl. I know,
face, y'all.
man, I know. Okay. I am not professionally trained. I am professionally trained through life and the hood. The ghetto taught me. Okay.
What? The ghetto.
The hood taught me. It gave me 10 toes down to the ground. Stay true. Okay.
Oh my God, I wish you guys could see her face.
But I'm just saying, I'm just being completely truthful. Like, this is one thing that we will always be very transparent, but we will always tell you, like, this is education through our life experiences.
Right.
This is not in any way, shape, or form and ever a professional suggestion. This is,
Right.
we tried it sucked in our face, and now I don't want it to suck in your face, so I'm going to tell you what
here's the tea.
Exactly. Like, here's the tea of what happened and how it backfired. Try it, but just know it might backfire on y'all's lives too. It didn't work. It wasn't successful here. Please tell me, leave reviews, comment below. Where was I going with that?
I don't even know. I don't even know. We just went so left.
But, okay, yes. So with that whole, not really diving into my emotional state
in
right?
the moment.
In the moment, emotional state, and like
Mhm.
the full situation, just taking bits and pieces of where I needed to release, because if not, literally, like, my body felt like it was going to die.
Mhm.
I really do think that that is a reason why, because when you said 2014, I was like, girl, you got memories from 2014. I was like, I don't remember ish. I have memory problems, severe memory problems,
Mhm.
because I disassociate. And I have done that since I was very young.
Mhm.
I don't remember, like, there's people that like, oh, don't you, and like, we will be at family functions and my family will be going, as many Latinos do all the time, oh, you remember when so and so, you were so little, blah blah blah. And I'm like, not a clue, I don't even know who that is. You know
No,
what I
it had the way the brain works and the way that the brain shields you from things that were current in your life at that time is fascinating. I find it fascinating.
But and again, I just want to be very clear. It's not to say that I had like this extreme trauma growing up, because that's definitely not the image that I want to give out. There were just me as an individual, and through my 30s, I want to say your 30s are the river to awareness, or it should be, or it just becomes, because God said, stop playing games, you gonna learn today. Because because Lord has shown me the way.
Oh my goodness.
I'm just saying, like, the sense of clarity, and just clarity through accountability, that has been the journey of my 30s,
Mhm.
is crazy. Because sometimes it's not what people have done to you per se, it's just how you perceived it based on the emotions, sentiments that you were
Oh.
experiencing at that
Mhm.
point in time, and that
Mhm.
person did nothing to you. However, you will take it and your body will absorb it as trauma, and this martyr moment, like, oh my God, I was crucified today. No, you were not, ma'am. No, you were
You really
not,
weren't.
sir. It's just where you were mentally, and what you were able to ingest that day.
Yeah.
And with taking an I guess, inventory to my life, I realized that sometimes things were just uncomfortable to me as
Mhm.
the individual, and that's what created conflict, and that's what created a bigger bubble than what it should have been,
Right.
which in turn caused a lot of disassociation.
Yeah.
So
I mean, yeah.
it's like, so trauma does exist, it's just I wasn't as traumatized as I thought.
I feel like I was operating back then in survival mode, whereas today I'm operating in a sense of like purpose, not purpose, but
No
what's the
purpose. It's a type of purpose. You're an awareness. You're just aware.
yeah. Whereas
Mhm.
before it was just like everything is happening. Oh my God, how could life get like this? Why is life like this?
Mhm.
Why has life always been like this?
Right.
And then you kind of have to like take control of your that's what it is, a sense of control.
Right.
Whereas before I was just allowing life to happen to me and then operating in those instincts of just having to survive. And now it's just like, oh, this is happening because I'm making X, Y, and Z choices. And if I don't change the direction of where I'm, going right now, I'm not going to get to where I want to be.
But that's the whole, like, idea of victim mentality. When you
Yes.
are in that
Mm-hmm. Oh, I was
fight
definitely
or flight mode
victim mentality.
constantly, you're in a victim mentality. That's why a lot of, and this is going to be controversial, a lot of people that have experienced trauma, and again, I'm not trying to say that trauma does not have a lot of ramifications, but at a certain point in your life, when you get to adulthood, when you become a parent, when you just want to execute to the next stage, you have to take the accountability to remedy whatever trauma happened to you. Because at that point in time, if you really do not take that time to heal, then it's only going to keep happening. Not because anybody's traumatizing you at this point. You're traumatizing yourself.
Absolutely.
With the trauma that somebody else did, because you refuse to leave it where it is and grow from that situation. And again, easier said than done. It's a journey. It's a journey.
So hard. It's so difficult. Like people who, when I see people on Instagram, mostly on Instagram, because that's my social media platform of choice, but that talk about these, oh, do this to heal and do that to heal. And I'm always like, that does not work for everyone, right? Find your healing. Find your healing, because healing looks so different for each individual, whether it's therapy, whether it's gym, whether it's, I don't know, punching a wall. Let's, probably get some gloves, and I'd rather just you go boxing. But my point is, whatever your thing is, find that thing that allows you to release, to give you the mental clarity that you need to process what has happened in your life. Because if you don't find the thing that works for you, you're never going to start the process. It's always going to feel like you're going in a circle, because you're trying to do someone else's healing, and that's not for you.
Right.
You have to figure out what allows you the mental space to truly get through, or, go through what you're going through, and not just avoid it, and not just try to like go over it. It's like, for a mental image, right? Like if you have the option of going through the
challenge.
Thank you. The challenge versus climbing over the mountain to get above the, to just skip it all together. It's like, nah, let me just go through it, because it will be, actually, that's a great mental image. I'm seeing it in my head. Y'all, I'm a visual, so bear with me. But I'm just visualizing a mountain, right? And when I think about the mountain versus, how those, they have tunnels, right? Mm-hmm. So if you go through the tunnel, it's a shorter route than climbing over the mountain to get over it, right? But so many people are scared to go through the dark tunnel. They would rather just climb over where they can see the sun. But you're going to have a much more difficult time getting up the hill and then down, instead of just walking straight through it.
And I will add a second, because I definitely saw the same imagery, but a different way. And this is why one solution doesn't solve everybody's problem, because you could see that same imagery and say that the easier route is to go around the mountain instead of going up the mountain, and there's no tunnel involved, and it's the same thing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
But on that note, we gonna cut it here, because
this was supposed to be a welcome back episode.
Yeah.
And we just took this to a whole different level.
Took this to a heart to heart. We said we had things on our chest, and I'm going to say it.
Today was the day, y'all. Oh my goodness. No.
August to June.
Months of clarity. No, but seriously, thank y'all for being here with us. We got more to say, so catch us on the next episode. And if you don't already follow us on all of our social media platforms, find us at So You Were Saying _ Yeah, that part.
We love y'all.
We love y'all. Till next time. Bye.